Kia ora and welcome back. Today we a bit wet out here, but I'm going to be working on the VS again. I've done the suspension obviously, and I swapped some wheels over off the Adventure, which I'm pretty stoked with. The fitment is much better. Just sits under there enough to clear the lip. Front is, mate, this is on point. So yeah, stoked, and they look bloody good. I've pulled some of the interior out just to clean her up. Got a vacuum down here. Just general clean up, and around here there's a lot of bad car smells come from in here. Yeah, it was pretty grotty. So, but now we'll be installing some sounds, bit of doof and Bluetooth single din. Keep this sort of old school look. This is the original one. It doesn't it lights up and everything, but yeah, it doesn't work. She's had it. So we got this. Came in another car I've bought, Honda Accord, and yeah, got a good power cable. I'm not sure why, because the only power, it's got an inbuilt amp, mono amp, and this is just power. So I mean, I guess you'll get no loss at least. But yeah, I like a good earth, so it is what it is. We'll see how it goes. If it's no good, I've got an amp in the Adventure I can grab out. But yeah, apparently it's 1300 watts according to Google. Just a slim fit, so it'll sit in the boot, won't take up too much space. I don't want anything crazy. I just want some good sound quality, and a bit of bass when I'm listening to my Snoop and Dre. Yeah, and Bluetooth, slim. Yes, fits nice and easy, light as heck. A CD player would be cool, but oh well. You don't really get those anymore. But yeah, got my Spotify. So yeah, let's install that and get into it. And then I've tidied all up these console parts. We'll go over them and how I cleaned them and how we assemble it back together. Alright, first thing, we need to locate our power. And we want to hook this up. This will unplug from the back of your head unit. Boom. Unplug that. Much easier to operate. And there's our speakers from the installed in the last car. They look like they did a pretty good job. So must have either someone who knew what they were doing or paid someone to do it. It was all set up quite nicely. So we have our constant power, our accessories, so that's like memory and that, and then our remote for our sub and our earth. So we want to figure out where all those are on here. Old school should probably be these powers and that should be pretty similar colors, but we can test with our voltmeter. Alright, that was earth to the body, but I will earth it. I'll put it into here. So while we're talking about that, we'll just quickly do it. This is a little cool little contraption I got from Super Cheap, more Tool Pro stuff. Here's flip it, and there's your crimper. flip it, and there's your cutters, another crimper on the end, and your strippers. So far it's pretty handy. It's only 30 bucks, I think, 35 maybe. So I just cut that to length, and everything's sharp as. So I want to put that in there, so we just strip a little bit. Yeah, assume it's probably 1.6. Boom. Yep, give it a little twist so our wires don't fray. Pop it in here. Now you can get plug and play stuff if you're not confident to do all this. AirPro, AERPRO, super cheap as well. They have all that stuff. Literally it just plugs into here, and then it has a generic harness that will plug into that, and then that into there. So you've got to actually buy two harnesses. I have one here, so that, say if that fit that, which it doesn't, it's hoping it would, I would plug that in there, and then they all transfer to this type, and then from that type it'll go to whatever stereo you have. So if you have this end, it doesn't mean it's going to fit every car. But yeah, that, unfortunately that didn't fit, and I haven't labelled what that is out of. So let's get our power set up. First we will find our main power with the key off. So I'll just untangle these fuckers. So we want to earth it out. The body location's great. And the VRVS's, you get a little screw bodies. There's these ones here actually go back onto steel, so that's a good earth. Even your aerial is a good earth. So we just flick this on here, and we want to just find a pin. My guess, probably one of these, and we'll pop it in here and see if we get some voltage. Right there, just as I thought. So that, with the key off, that is our memory. Hold our memory when we turn the car off. So we just cut that one, and then strip it. And then we want, so this yellow will be our memory. It's a thicker one because it's our constant power. So we're just focusing on, remember, twist it one wire at a time, so we don't get ourselves lost and muddled up. Come on, mate. Yours will hopefully have more length on it than mine. If it's a VR or a VS, doubt it. Just make sure both sides are tight. Pop this in here and find our earth, which is probably this fat black one. Yep, 12.58. Boom. We've done this right. I have a power here and a negative there. Yep, 12.58 volts. Now to find the accessories. So because these two have been right here, I'm guessing that yellow will be it. I'll turn the key to the accessories. Put this in here, the second pin. And there's our 12 volts. So we'll turn the key off, and it's gone. On to accessories, and it's back. So like I thought, that is it. So as far as the car side goes, those wires are all correct. Strip, twist. Now, if we plug this in, it should work normally. If these wires are around the wrong way, it'll probably power on already. So there we go, we got key off. Oh, we just opened the boot. On, and then we'll change the time to a random time. Right, so 3:04 PM, and we'll turn it off, and then back on, and if I've done it right, the time should be there. There we go. So I do have them round the right way. Cool. So now we want to leave that plugged in, and we need to find our remote wire and our sound wire for our amp. So I want to run these along under my console, and I'll tuck them under the carpet and then run them under the back seat, but we'll get to that. So I want to run these away from the gear stick, and then it's on this side, so I may as well run them down here like so, and there is a little thing here to tuck them in. Turn that off, save our battery. So we'll just tuck this under here, up here, and then up the back. Give ourselves a bit of length. We can always tuck that back in afterwards. So we'll just plug that in there while we remember. And then our remote wire. So this is the on-off switch basically for the amp. So it switches on with the head unit at the same time. That's that side done. Get our radio, plug that in. From memory, the speakers are like, yeah, I think they're all on the bottom. Assume these are two right here. Strip the ends. So we'll just find a radio station, shove that in there, so at least one of them's held. It's just, oh, there we go. Right, I think I'll just pull up the aerial if I can. Stop the crackling. Oh, would you look at that? It's the right rear, just like I thought. Oh, I love it when shit goes like that. Let's just ditch this. So if this is how I think it is, and our blue, and our blue with the orange strip is right rear, then this one should be left rear. And I'm looking at it like this, and I'm thinking, so that's probably the bottom ones here, they're grouped together, these four, so that's probably left front, and this two is right front, I'd say. So I'll just do them one at a time, and I'll hook them up like that, and let's see if my assumption is correct. White and grey is front, green and purple is rear. I cannot be held responsible for what's playing on the radio right now either. So I also have this base level controller that came with it. I'll probably just sit this here. So we'll tuck that in there. No, that doesn't need to go in there. That can just cut under there. So we have got a vent here that goes to the back. They go all the way around, so we'll just make sure that's in behind that. And then that can run with these. So that doesn't need to hook up to the head unit, it goes to the sub and the amp only. We have a little wiring loom holder here. We utilise that to hold it. Tuck that under there. This is our console bolts onto here. So I don't want it to go in the middle here because it squeezes down on that and we may risk damaging a wire. But I like to tuck it in here. The amp wiring is on that side, so I'll try and run it down this side and then under the seat. We've got a little dog on the back seat, so we'll see how that goes. Come on. You're quite comfortable there, eh? Come on. Right, now we have lots of a space to get under here. Oh, it's clean under there, man. One. Feed that in. Two. Three. Pull those through. RCAs are at full length. The level controller, and just want to get that over to the side like this, and even here, get down the side. I'm more likely to get damaged if people are standing on this than if they're tucked along the side. Getting kicks like that's not as bad. Or if someone chucks something in here, whack! You don't want your wires here. Just give ourselves a bit of room. Always, there's plenty of length, so I always want to make sure I've got enough. This, on the driver's side of the brackets where this folds, and tuck it up. You should be able to feed it up through there, and bam, and these wires will be fully hidden. Down under the footwell here, which is perfect. There's a foot vent here. So I'm gonna get it in behind that, like so. We've got this thing here, which is for our climate control. So we don't want to put weight on that, because as you see, if I put weight on that, it'll pull it down and that thing pops off easy. We'll just go under and through again on the other side of this. Probably should have done this before I put the other stuff in, but you know, these things happen. Once more. So for those of you who are supporting me and have got this far through the video and watched this much, because the longer you watch, it helps me too. I'll let you in on, hopefully, I've got a guy who has LS1 motor and box, drive shaft, everything. He's done the conversion in one of these, or VN, but there's not a lot of difference as far as the floor pan goes. Yeah, so he's got a motor and box, and he's going to bring it here to me from 5 hours away, and I'll trade him that with all the loom and anything that he thinks I'll need for my adventure. Yeah, so that's pretty, hopefully that all works, because we'll be into it. We'll be buying the engine stand, we'll be getting into that engine. Yeah, and we'll start doing some videos on building it here and there. Yeah, so stay tuned to that. There we go, and that, my friends, is our sub setup, wires setup. Let's go get the fucking sub. We have this, should be able to put a wire on there and a nut on the back for our earth. Straight to the body is the best, shorter the better. This has the one with the indent, and we just squeeze the shit out of that. Boom, that easy. Just puts a big dent in there. We're gonna get a nut. Should be a 13mm nut. Tuck that up there, out the way. We can actually pop that off. Twist it on, get it in there. All the way in there. Right. And then our remote wire. is always blue. There we go. Plug this in. Listen for a, this is a fuse blow sound. Oh, that didn't look good. Jesus. It didn't blow. Let's see what happens. We have sound. Okay. We have power. Do you want to turn it up a bit? There we go. I'll figure the tuning out later, but it works. It's good. Still with us? Just right, let's tuck this all up in here. Oh, is that why? Ah, that's why it arced, because it wasn't all the way in, right? Sorry about that. It should go in now. Fucking made for it. Actually looks like it's meant to be there. Sweet. We have a sound system. I have to figure out how to eliminate the old number plate rattle. It seems alright at the moment actually. Right. Let's put a fresh battery in this and put this console back in. Got about 45 minutes. Cool. Now it's time to assemble this. Obviously I already pulled it out. So I took it apart and just cleaned everything with a hose and a scrub, and then got some vinyl protectant and soaked it, like sprayed it, the coating over it, and let it sit for 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever, and then wipe it off so it absorbs a bit. And like these were quite, you see a little bit here, it was dull. Now it's, yeah, I may have some photos of it before. So we'll just assemble that. Pop these off, clean them behind there. There's a lot of grime and shit under these, and there's where you get a lot of smells from old cars. Bad smells, not good ones. So these weren't working, those flaps. So I popped, that is just the thing inside there had come out. I just popped that back on. Now they all work. Right, this just put them in loosely so they're both in there. Get snug. Push it all the way forward. Put a bit of this on here. Freeing up. Wipe that off in a minute. It's better than CRC because it doesn't go all sticky and it protects it. Just flip this around for you. And here, tuck that in. So the reason we have that spacer is because this outer rubber needs to tuck under there. If you've missed the space and that's not going on, it'll it won't sit under this. There we go. This thing has an old cigarette. Still has cigarette lighter, goes in the back. Crack up. Sure the kids will make a phone charger use of that. We have all our gear selector things, so I laid them out again, sprayed it, let it soak for a bit, wiped it clean. Same as this. This had an insert in here, most of them do I think, and it was all fucked. I just pulled it out and it's all the same as what that is. There is some residue there, but I'll get that off another day. Go and chuck this in the car now. So we just sort of tuck everything in because it's going to sit along here. Let's get this where it should be. Handbrake up. Make sure the zip's undone on the handbrake cover. Oof. So that's got to go under. It's these that go in that groove that I said we need to keep clear. And then they push this up into these tabs. This goes on that way, our gears. So this is the light shines through that blanks everything else off, and then that'll sit over each of these so we know what gear we're in. So we need that underneath, and then this little tab here, that there is the guide for it. We're going to make sure everything's out of the way too. There we go. Down here it will guide itself once this is on, and we put this on. It does need to be, pop that one on, that does not need to be lined up, but this does. So I'll put this park one at the very bottom of that square, and then in theory by the time it gets to here it should still cover each one, 2, 3, no, just pop it down 1 so it can see it, yeah, 2 I can see it, 1 I can see it, D, N, R, and park. Right, that should do it. This is the cunty bit, is getting this on. Right, and we have 2 little things that go on the top here to hold this down at the back, and a couple of 10 mils that go on here. Right, that's it for the stereo, and yeah, that's it. Hopefully this the guy messaged again about the trade for the LS. He seems pretty keen. Yeah, so make that happen and make this happen. Fucking be cool. Yeah, long-term goal. That's, well, a goal I've had for a long time. Starting to work. Love it. Alright, yeah, enjoy. Thanks for watching. See you later.